Howdy, my name is Leyton, right? And today I will be interviewing Aaron Devotor. Aaron, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Aaron Devotor. I work as a proposal coordinator at TrueGrid. A little bit about what proposal coordinators do is that we work heavily in documentation. I'm in charge of delivering and developing a proposal that will be sent out to the clientele, and also handling any documents that come from the client to us, and that what documents need to be sent out to the client.
What made you choose not only this specific field of work, but this specific renewable energy resource when there's so many that are available in the modern day?
What kind of made me choose this line of work is that the fact of there's so much versatility in the battery storage industry. We can go from supplying power at peak times, supplying power at low times, and collecting any sort of leak outs that maybe the grid or the building might have. It's cost efficient. Its ability to just hold that energies for the rainy days. A perfect example would be blackouts. Another thing is taking pressure off the grids. That's a heavy one, and then also just distribution. It's small. They don't need a lot of space. They really don't. You can put them into warehouse buildings, or you can put them outside of a hotel or a family-owned restaurant, and they'd be able to cut back on the prices and cost of their electricity.
How has the technology surrounding this resource changed in the past 5 years?
A big thing that has changed over the years, I would probably have to say, would be the cells themselves. The battery cells themselves are very complex, and the first they started off very large, and we've been able to shrink them down to put more cells into the containers, and that's helped out tremendously. The technology inside the cells has for the lithium ions has been skyrocketing heavily. Another thing would be a cool aspect that has kind of become the bare minimum now, I would say, is black starts, which basically, if the grid were to go down, if a hurricane hit, like in the Florida hurricane, they would be able to start up within milliseconds of after being disconnected from the power from the grid itself, and be able to supply the power that is needed for a very long time to the storage units, or to the warehouses, or to the complexes, or anything around those lines.
For my final question, I'm asking, what steps can somebody take to replicate this career path that you have chosen?
I would say, there's a lot of ways to get into this industry. I was very lucky. I went to Texas Tech for wind energy. I graduated in wind energy. That was a big stepping stone and a way for me to get my foot into the door for this industry. I did notice that that there's multiple ways. I have a coworker, for instance. He majored in journalism, and he's very well respected employee. He's a great coworker, and we come to him for loads of things. He's learned. He came into this industry not knowing anything, and now he knows just as much as I do. And I was lucky because I came in knowing the grids, how to read drawings, knowing grid lines, single lines. I knew what the cablings were. I knew what the internals were of the BESSes, and just already have that knowledge. And now he knows not as much as along the lines of the mechanical sides, but he knows his way to have that conversation. There's tons of ways. It's a growing industry. It's a great way if anyone wants to get into it. Obviously, the general backgrounds of mechanical or electrical, those are great starts too. And the companies are taking you. Companies will take you. They'll teach you. And it's even the big companies like Shell, Phillips 66, Exxon. They're wanting to put their their fingers in those pies of the renewables because they see that it's growing and it's gonna keep growing. So I recommend getting into it, and there's tons of pathways. There's tons of pathways to get into it, and just as long as you find them, then you'll get in and you'll have a blast. I promise.
Thank you for your time, Aaron. It's been a pleasure interviewing you. And again, my name is Leyton Ray, signing off. Gig 'em.